Hey everyone, Mr. Voikin here. This is lesson 2.7 and we're looking at dividing a quantity into a given ratio. So let's take a look at the first example. We're going to be taking these 30 objects, these blue and red circles, and dividing them up at a ratio of 2 to 3. So you can see here that we do have a ratio of 2 blue circles to the 3 red circles. Now, what I have here are 5 objects split up at a ratio of 2 to 3. Now, if we take all 30 of the objects and split them up according to that ratio, all the blue objects or circles will go to the left side and the red circles will move over here to the right side. So now, if we were to count these up, you can see that on the left side we have 12 blue circles to the 18 red circles, and the 12 plus 18 will give us our total of 30, and they are split at a ratio of 2 to 3. Now if we were to take a look at those two ratios in fractional form, we have 2 to 3, and we're saying that equals 12 to 18. Now you can see that to go from 2 to 12 and 3 to 18, I just multiplied both of those by 6. Okay, so how do we get that number, that multiplier that's right there that we can use? Because we don't want to be drawing circles and moving them all around. Well, what you do is you take these two numbers right here, the 2 and the 3, and you're going to add them together. So that is going to be 5. And we're going to take our total number right here, which is 30, and we're going to divide the 5 into the 30. So 5 divides into 30 6 times. So that right there is our magic number that we're going to multiply our initial ratio of in order to get the total number of objects to objects. Okay, so let's take a look at this next example, and we'll use the same strategy to divide these 50 objects here into a ratio of 3 to 7. So what did we do? Well, we took the two numbers that make up our ratio and we add them together. So 3 plus 7 is going to be 10. We take our total number of objects and we're going to divide the 10 into the 50, which is going to be 5. So our number that we're going to multiply by, our multiplier is going to be 5. So we're going to take our original ratio, which is 3 to 7, and we're going to multiply the top by 5, and we're going to multiply the bottom by 5, and we're going to end up with 15 to 7, or 15 to 35, or 15 to 35. And you can see that we basically have two equivalent ratios right here and right there. Okay, so a little challenge for you here. I've got this third example that's saying we have 440 objects, and we're going to be splitting them up into a ratio of 1 to 3 to 7. So I would like you to pause the video and use the same strategy we used in the first two examples to try your best to split those 440 objects up according to that ratio. Okay, once you're done, start the video up again and you can check your answer. Okay, so hopefully you got the right answer, and let's do this together. So what are we going to do? We're going to add these together. So 1 plus 3 is 4, plus the 7 is 11. We have our number of objects, which is 440, so we're going to divide the 11 into the 440, which is going to go into here 40 times. So our multiplier is going to be 40. So basically our ratio was 1 to 3 to 7, and we're going to multiply each of those by 40. So 1 times 40 is 40, 3 times 40 is 120, and 7 times 40 is 280. Okay, so here's another example. We're going to be using a word problem this time. So we have a triangle. So I would probably start off by drawing a triangle. It doesn't matter sort of the length of the sides. We just want it there for representation. A little visual helps with word problems for sure. So it says that we have a perimeter right here of 240 centimeters. So don't forget, we're going to have units here of centimeters. And what is perimeter? Well, it is the length going all the way around. So it's going to be side A, B, and C. So the perimeter is going to equal A plus B plus C. Okay, now what does it say? It's 240, so I know that 240 centimeters is going to be the A plus B plus C. And what do I know here? I know that it comes in a ratio of 1 to 2 to 3. So once you've extracted that information, it's just doing the same strategy we did before. We're going to add these three numbers together, which is going to be 6. And we're going to divide it into the 240. So 240 divided by the 6 goes in there 40 times. So what are we going to do with that number 40? We're going to multiply each one of those values in the original ratio by 40. So 1 times 40 is 40, 2 times 40 is 80, and 3 times 40 is 120. Now this is a word problems, and what is it that we're trying to actually calculate? The lengths of the three sides. So again, you would respond with the length of the three sides are 40 centimeters, 80 centimeters, and 120 centimeters. And there we go. That would be our final answer. Okay, this is the last example, another word problem. And again, I would like you to pause the video, extract as much information out of there as you can, and then analyze it, and then do your best to come up with the solution to this. And what are they asking for? What is the area of the triangle if the perimeter is 240 centimeters? Okay, so pause the video, give it a shot, then turn it back on and check out my work and compare it to your work and your answer. Okay, so what do we know? We know that we have a perimeter of 240. But they're not asking for the length of each side, they're asking for the area. So they want to know what is the area. Well, remember, area equals base times height divided by 2. And it states up top that we have a right triangle. So you should know what a right triangle it is. It is a triangle that looks like that and has a 90-degree corner. It says it comes in a ratio of 3 to 4 to 5, and the two shorter sides will form the 90 degree. So that means this is going to be a ratio of 3 to 4 to 5. But if we add up those three numbers, you're going to get 12. So the perimeter in this case would be 12, but we know that the perimeter is not 12, it is 240. So what are we going to do? We're going to take our ratio, 3 to 4 to 5, we'll add those together, which is 12, and we're going to divide it into this 240. So if I divide that 12 into the 240, we're going to get 20, which means we're going to multiply each of these numbers by 20, and we're going to end up with 3 times 20, which is 60, 4 times 20, which is 80, and 5 times 20, which is 100. So our three side lengths are 60, 80, and 100. So when we're figuring out area, which one is the base? Well, the base is down here, which is 80, and the height is right there, which is 60. So we will just take those numbers. The base was 80 and the height was 60, so we're going to multiply those together and then divide by 2. So 80 times 60, the easy way to calculate this is just 8 times 6 is 48, and we still have 2 zeros that we're just going to add right there. And don't forget to divide that by 2, and the area is going to be 2,400. Now, don't forget, word problem gets a word response, and don't forget the units. So the area of the triangle is 2,400 centimeters squared. And that's our final answer, and that is the end of this lesson. So hopefully you did well with that and got the correct answer, and we'll see you in class.